Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
After a successful road trip to start the season, the Sox return to the cell for the home opener. Hit hard into center field.
Stretch, get on back there. You can put it on the board. Yeah, the blast off the bat of Alex Rios, and the Sox take a 4-3 lead. A bomb, a blast off the bat of Alejandro Diaza. And the Sox lead it 7-4. Mercy.
And as the former Sox and now the skipper, Robin Ventura knows White Sox fans have his back as he debuts on the south side against the formidable Detroit Tigers next on Comcast Sportsnet. From the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, A.J. Pierzynski, and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, and the tough Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you home opener 2012. As you know, the Sox coming off that what turned out to be a five-game road trip with a record of 3-2. They played well. They took the 2 in Cleveland, took 1 out of 3 in Texas. But this afternoon, Jake Peavy on the bump.
Last time out against Texas, Jake got off to a tough start and then started throwing the ball very well. In fact, the last 3 innings, he retired 9 in a row, only gave up 2 hits, both to Murphy. And so I think he's going to do pretty well today. This is a gorgeous day at the ballpark, and Jake says he feels great, and that's a good thing. Max Scherzer going to the mound for Detroit. First time out, he got hit hard, and he didn't have his control. Hopefully that trend continues. 3 and 4 in their lineup. With Cabrera and Fielder, as tough as anybody around, he can't really pitch by Cabrera too much because the big left-hander is waiting in the on-deck circle. They're 5-1. Let's make them 5-2.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Ford. Drive one. The new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. BMO Harris Bank. Helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank. NA member FDIC. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. And by Toyota. With great specials on fuel-efficient vehicles. Right now, you can get a lot for less at your local Toyota dealer.
fly over the ballpark to lead things off. This opening week of baseball is brought to you by Burger King. It's a windy day here in Chicago. It started out bright sunshine, now a little bit cloudy as the Sox take the field. And now we'll take a look at the starting lineup for Jim Leyland's Tigers, who are in first place, a game and a half up, a 5-1 record heading into today's action. Austin Jackson has had a red-hot start, leading it off in center field. Then it's Brendan Bosch, Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, one of the new additions to this team, along with Delman Young, Alex Avila, Johnny Peralta, Andy Dirks is the DH, and Ryan Rayburn is at second base. The Sox and how they're going to line up behind Jake Peavy. Left to right, Viciedo, Diaza, and Rios. In the infield, Morel, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko. A.J. Pierzynski also off to a red-hot start. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jake Peavy. Threw the ball pretty well in the opening game against a very tough Texas lineup in Texas. He's got an equally tough Detroit lineup here today in Chicago. First home game, managed by Robin Ventura, sitting next to his coaches. Robin has seen his ball club on the road get off to a 3-2 start. So they're throwing the ball around the infield. We are ready for opening day. And I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet, home opener 2012. As Austin Jackson will stand in, and our 30-year-old right-hander Jake Peavy with the first pitch of the ball game. Goes through it. Jackson comes in hitting at .435 on the young season with a homer and 3 RBIs.
Jackson is one of the keys to controlling this lineup.
Well, we talked about it earlier in one of our previous telecasts. I think this guy is going to have a big season for him. He finished up very strong last year. And if he does, it just causes a lot of problems for whoever they're playing.
Well, he's a big speed man at the top, and eventually, after Brendan Bosch, you get to Cabrera and Fielder and Young.
And the 2-1 pitch. Tigers come in with that 5-1 mark. They're hitting .304 as a club with a 3.54 team ERA. Make no mistake about it. This is one of the better teams in baseball. He gone. Gas.
All fastballs to Jackson. That one riding up and in. AJ wanted it low and away, but sometimes if you miss your spot, but still throw it in a good place, you're going to get the strikeout.
Brendan Bosch, 27-year-old outfielder, hitting a .222, no homers, and 5 RBIs.
Really
Bosch last year hit .283, 16 homers, and knocked in 54.
Really want to miss with that first pitch fastball, because Bosch sits back, looks for the first pitch, especially a fastball, and is very aggressive.
There's the strike. 1-1 the count. Outfield straight up. Bit of a gap in left center. As that's fouled down, throw down. Peavy on top, 1-2. These two teams met 18 times last year, and the Tigers won 13 of them. Sox over the past decade, though, have had good success against this club. Not so last season. Long look in. He gone. 2 down.
Jake going away from that slider and going to the high heat, which is a good spot against Bosch. You want it higher than high. He's got an uppercut swing, but he can't catch up to it up there.
And here's a svelte looking Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera, one of the best hitters in baseball, comes in hitting at .381, 3 homers and 9 knocked in. He's talking to the umpire about the batter's box now. Looks like he says they've got it cut too short. Now he's going to check. Adrian Johnson is going to check with Gary Cederstrom.
Well, they usually take the bat and they lay it out to the distance of the back part of the box. Jim Leland coming out. This is going to be an interesting conversation.
Well, I don't blame Cabrera if that's what he thinks.
Might as well check it out. And Gary Cederstrom is going to call out Roger Bossert and have it checked out.
Cabrera, meanwhile, hit .344 last year with 30 homers and knocked in 105. And evidently, Cederstrom thinks there's some validity to Cabrera's claim. So they will measure it. Of course, Billy Martin, when he was managing, and you were playing in his ballpark, regardless of where he was managing, you had to look for things like that.
Well, first of all, if nothing else, for Cabrera, he gets a hot Jake Peavy, who struck out 2 guys, feeling good, in good rhythm, and now he's standing out there on the mound. It is a windy day, and regardless of what happens in the culmination of what's going to happen with that batter's box, this is not going to do Jake any good, because his stuff when the game started is great. Hopefully he continues with that stuff, and it will be great.
So evidently they are going to redo the batter's boxes. And as I said, Cabrera's got every right if he thinks that thing is short, because if it's short 3 or 4 inches, that means you're adding 3 or 4 inches on that fastball.
Yes, which is not a bad idea, actually.
So they will attend to a new batter's box. And until they get this thing resolved, now Robin wants another word with Cederstrom. We'll take a break and we'll be back. putting in the original batter's box. And with 2 strikeouts of Jackson and Bosch, Cabrera didn't take long, stepped in that thing and said, whoa, something's wrong here. He turned around. Adrian Johnson then checked with Gary Cederscorn, home plate umpire. He checked it out and said, indeed, there is something wrong with it. So Jake's just been standing out there, as Steve alluded to, and I'd like to see him keeping loose. He hadn't thrown any warm-up pitches.
No, and I don't understand that, because he's been standing out there for quite some time. Now, I'm sure they'll give him a chance to throw a few pitches, but still, this does take away the rhythm. And for Cabrera, he stands at the back part of the batter's box. So if he gets a different look, and he's right on the back line, if he gets a different look, and hitters have been doing that forever, they know exactly how far that guy should look from him, and apparently Jake looked a little closer.
So now they're having to bring in the frame, the setup from center field. And as they do, why don't we check out the road trip that the Sox started after a long spring training. We went to Houston for 2 exhibition games, and then we teed it off with 3 down at the ballpark at Arlington. Rangers won game 1. We won game 2. And Texas won the rubber match. And then we go to Cleveland. And this was a weather-shortened 3-game set, cut down to 2. It was A.J. just pounding out that home run. And A.J. off to a big start, hitting at .313, a couple of homers, and he's got 6 knocked in.
And one of the things that Robin decided, it was early in the spring, because there was a lot of speculation that A.J. would hit 2 behind Diaz, because he could make contact, he could move the ball around, he could control the bat pretty well, and he didn't strike out very much. But what then Robin decided was he wanted to have a little protection behind Paul Konerko. And he felt the way that A.J. swung the bat in spring training, same thing you felt, Hawk, that he was in line for a big year. And if that's the case, he gives a lot of protection behind Paulie, which means he's going to get a chance to drive in a lot of runs.
Well, I've seen A.J. for so long and watched him his whole career that right now is the best I have ever seen him mechanically swing the bat. He is short, he is quick, he's keeping the bat in front of him. And when he does that, he will go in spurts in the past doing those things, and when he does, he just tears the cover off the ball. He seems to be doing it almost every game now. So now Jake is loosening up as they have framed new batters boxes. And again, I certainly do not blame Miguel Cabrera. Watch him. He's just walking in, getting ready to go in. He says, hold it.
Well, he's looking. You see where his foot is. That's where he feels he normally sets up. And so he felt it was just a touch short.
So we are ready. Steps in hitting at .381, as I mentioned, 3 homers and 9 RBIs on this young season, and that's just in 6 games. High into right field. He's upset with himself. So a 1-2-3 inning from Peavy with a couple of strikeouts after a half inning of play. As the Tigers nothing and the good guys coming to bat.
Waiting to go 4-2. Alejandro Diaz leading it off, and then Brent Morel off to a slow start with Adam Dunn swinging the bat pretty well. Paul Konerko always swinging it well with A.J. Przinsky, who's been red hot. Then it's Rios, Ramirez, Viciedo, and Beckham rounding out the offense. The defense and how they're going to line up behind Max Scherzer. Young, Jackson, and Bosch left to right with Cabrera, Peralta, Rayburn, and Fielder in the infield. Alex Avila behind the plate. And the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Max Scherzer. First time out, just a horrible game. He didn't have command, and Jeff Jones, his pitching coach, is telling him today to stand a little bit taller, get some angle on his new two-seam fastball that he's throwing, and get a little depth on his slider. He's got a great arm. The question is, will he get it over the plate? And the Sox are hoping not consistently.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Alejandro Diaz hitting at 273, a couple of homers. He's driven in 3. Takes outside. Well, in all my years in this game, all the parts of 7 decades, I have never seen that. I have seen hitters claim that before, but I have never seen the umpires make them restructure a new batter's box.
Nope.
Have you?
Nope.
Me either.
I've heard hitters complain about it a lot. What they do normally is just erase the back line and then get where they normally stand.
Goes through that one on the count 1-2. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. So with one out, let's check out our picks to click this afternoon. Jim and Joe, our director and the crew, they went with the Tank. Steve's going with Paul Konerko and J.J. Shearer, Ed Fernandez, all the great folks down at Ditka. At Ditka's and we're going to go with Diaz. So here's Brent Morel. First pitch strike. Outfield around to the right. And the count evens at 1.
Scherzer's strong side, the side where he's most comfortable throwing the ball, is on his throwing arm side. Inside to right-handers, away to left-handers.
He got a good pitch to hit, pops it up. Avila fighting that wind, stays with it, makes the catch for out number 2.
This young man slowly is becoming one of the better catchers in baseball.
Well, if you'll recall last season, there for about a 2-month period, he just held this club together offensively.
And he has tremendous power, good power the opposite way, and comes from a baseball family. Both his dad and his grandfather, good baseball men, and Alex is turning into the offensive force they thought he would be as he masters the defense.
So here's Adam. Adam at 222, a homer. He's driven in a pair. Takes down low. He has faced Scherzer 12 times, has 4 hits, 2 of which stayed in the park.
They've got the same shift on Adam Dunn that most teams are employing on Prince Fielder.
Two and 1. Down in the end, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So no score here in the bottom of the first if you're just tuning in. Jake Peavy with a 1-2-3. Top of the first, couple of strikeouts.
Scherzer tried to get that one up and on the inside part of the plate, right in on the hands of Dunn, but Dunn was able to fight him off. The umpires for the game today: Adrian Johnson behind the plate, Gary Cederstrom, the crew chief, at first, Lance Barksdale at second, Fielden Culbreth is at third.
And once again, the 2-2. Konerko on deck. Ball for base hit right here, big man. Fouls that one back.
Austin Jackson can really go get him in center field. Young and Bosch, okay outfielders. They all have pretty decent arms.
Got him. Couple of strikeouts for Scherzer. 1-2-3 inning. After one, no score. Will enjoy a variety of price options for specific games and seating locations. The best tickets and the best locations directly from the White Sox. Buy early and save with the White Sox dynamically priced tickets. Visit whitesox.com/pricing. It'll be Fielder, Young, and Avila. Fielder steps in hitting .364, a couple of homers and 4 RBIs. 27-year-old first baseman last year with the Brewers at .299, 38 homers and knocked in 120. That strike evens the count at 1.
Fielder loves the fastball middle in. He would prefer it down if he could get it.
Well, he signed a pretty hefty contract.
A long contract.
Over $200 million. And the Tigers with the 3rd largest payroll in baseball. Paulie now gets it over to Jake, and they get it. Nice play on Paulie and Peavy. That ball was scalded.
Fielder gets down the line in a hurry for a big man. Kind of deceptive in that regard. Paulie doesn't know where the ball is. Jake does what he has to do. He gets to the bag, and Paul gets him by about a half step. Jake showing Gary Cederstrom that he indeed held on. He is out by that step. Nice play on both ends and a big first out.
Here's Young. Delman hitting at .286, no homers. He's driven in 1. He came over from Minnesota last year and really did a terrific job for this ball club. 40 games, he had 274, hit 8 home runs, and he drove in 32 in those 40 games.
If you're going to throw a fastball, you want to throw it in off the plate. Young is not a bad breaking ball hitter in the strike zone. He would prefer the ball down, especially on the breaking ball.
He gone. 2 down.
Third strikeout for Jake as he pitched him perfectly. Got ahead, buried one in the dirt. AJ stopped it.
Standing room only. And a lot of standing room patrons out there. So here's Alex Avila. Comes in hitting at 389, a couple of homers. He's driven in 6. Takes first pitch strike. Last season hit 295, 19 homers, and drove in 82.
Alex looked back at Adrian Johnson, but that ball had the whole plate. That wasn't even close. That was a good pitch.
And there's a breaking ball, and the count 1-2. This is one of those lineups that pitchers, well, there's no cruise control out there for them against this lineup.
Well, Jim Leyland has staggered it with right, left down through the lineup, so you never really get the same consistent release point. Avila does have big power to left center. You have to be aware of that.
AJ going through a lot of signs now. Too much time again. 2-2.
That's a career against the Sox, so you can tell that he has been a thorn in our side.
It's full with Johnny Peralta on deck. He gone. 4 strikeouts for Peavy after an inning and a half, no score.
Boy, I can't wait for that. I can't get enough of those Stooges.
No score, bottom of the second. And the White Sox would like to welcome a very special guest to U.S. Cellular Field today. And that's Glenn Brown of Viola, Illinois. Glenn, who is 103 years young. He's a huge Sox fan, and this is his first White Sox opening day game. He is here as the eldest of 4 generations of his family in attendance. Glenn turns 104 next month, and he still drives a car, mows the lawn, and cuts his own firewood. God bless you. And I'll send you a bottle of Smirnoff.
He still cuts his own firewood?
Yeah.
Wow.
Along with some diet tonic so you can stay in shape.
He remembers when he and Abe Lincoln used to do that together.
Oh, boy. Here's Paulie. Paulie hitting at .450. No homers, 5 RBIs on the season. Paulie, not a lot of luck against Scherzer. 3 for 16. All of them stayed in the park.
Scherzer's getting lucky with a lot of those sliders early in this one because they're not breaking real well. They're staying over the inside part of the plate.
You got lucky with that one.
Yeah, one time through the lineup, if he continues to do that, he's going to have some problems.
That's popped back and out of play.
Scherzer started his career as a #1 draft pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Paulie chases a bad one. So the 3rd strikeout for Scherzer. And here comes AJ.
That last slider was a dandy from Scherzer. That ball broke a good 2 feet.
I was just trying to think of the most graphic scenario that I can remember about a hitter getting into a batter's box and saying something was wrong. And actually, I didn't see it, but I heard it from the guy who did it, and that was Ted Williams. He said, that's popped up. And we'll continue with that after the out. He said that he stepped into the box, and I think it was in Detroit, and he turned around and looked at the umpire and said, home plate is too close to the pitcher's mouth. He didn't say anything about the batter's box. He said home plate is too close to the pitcher's mouth. And they measured it, and it was 60 feet.
So when they moved it back, what'd they do?
They didn't move the plate right then. They played with it. The umpire, I think I'm trying to recall what he said about it. He said the umpire said, well, it's the same for both teams. So,
well, it is that. But
he had them. Well, they used to go out and measure. They don't do it too much now. They used to go out and measure the height of the mound.
Yep.
When hitters would complain that the mound was too high. And in Dodger Stadium, the old Dodgers, what they would do is they would tailor-make the mound for each starting pitcher that they had.
That's what we did in Baltimore, and it really helped a lot. Because there's some guys that want no slope. They're high fastball pitchers.
There's a shot base hit. Delvin Young falls down, so it'll be a double for Rios. That's his first 2-bagger of the season, coming with 2 out here in the bottom of the second, first hit of the ball game.
Scherzer finally left one over the inside part of the plate. And you can see he drops his arm slot that time. And that ball stayed inside. Not the most athletic play we've seen from Delvin Young. As he plays a single into a double. He'd gladly take a runner in scoring position. Now right-handers over the last couple of years have done a better job against Scherzer than left-handers.
So here's Alexei. Takes ball one. Viciedo on deck. Tops that one foul.
One guy you might have trouble challenging because of a combination of speed, an above average arm, and accuracy is Austin Jackson on a hard base hit to center.
Austin Jackson's one of the best center fielders in baseball.
It's terrific and getting better.
One and two the count.
There's like the man acquired from the New York Yankees at the time, thought to be an untouchable, but when Curtis Granderson's name came up with a ballpark that ideally fit Granderson's game in New York, the deal was made between the Tigers and the Yankees.
Two and two.
Scherzer can throw his slider out there, and he can throw his changeup out there. He just has a very hard time on the glove side of the plate that's away from right-handers throwing a fastball for a strike.
Too much time.
One thing you don't have to worry about with Alexei is he doesn't care how deep the batter's box is. He wants it as close as he can get it to the pitcher.
Tigers had a hitter that even liked it even closer to the pitcher than that, and that was Willie Horton.
Never saw anything like it in my life. When you went to pitch against him, and I did, he looked like he was standing right in front of you.
Yeah.
And you certainly didn't want to knock him down.
No, that'd be the last thing you wanted to do if you wanted an extended career. Because there's a little number. Cabrera cannot make the play. Tried to barehand it. And everybody's safe.
I think it's a bad thought process on the part of Cabrera. Now, he's moving across. Obviously, with the addition of Fielder, there's another hanging slider inside. This one Scherzer gets away with, but you got to try to do this with your glove. And the bare hand pickup comes up short. The inning stays alive with a chance to break through.
And here's the Tank. Tank hitting at 267. So it'll be a base hit if you're scoring along with us for Alexei.
We still remember the ball he hit in Detroit. That might have taken out a few seats over the bullpen.
Took that pitch nicely. Yeah, that was the quickest we saw a ball leave the park all year.
And that was a couple of years ago.
And the count 2-0.
Still big problems with that slider for Scherzer. He's thrown one real good one. That coming to Paulie to lead off the inning. Other than that, he's been hanging most of them inside.
Alexei just a decent lead. And he made a nice pitch on him, especially on a 2-0 count.
Joe McEwing going through his set of signs. You can see that ball thigh high right down the middle.
Hung another one and the count 2-2.
Normally you make this many mistakes early and you've got some runs up on the board. So Scherzer's had some breaks in this one.
First home game for the Sox, first road game for the Tigers. Yeah, a little bigger lead by Alexei. Long set by Scherzer.
Well, had he done that quickly, he might have had a shot at Alexei, who actually had taken a couple steps towards second. But he did it so slowly to third that Alexei had a chance to get back.
2 on, 2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There he goes. Just fists that one out of play right side.
I'd like to send along a big White Sox hello to Adolf Nachman. Turned 100 on January 4th. So his first Sox game in 1921. And has remained a diehard Sox fan.
Couple of Centurions.
I know.
And once again, the 2-2.
Now, he had his shot at that play on the first play when it was a surprise, but once the element of surprise is gone, you might as well put that one in your pocket.
He pitches out of it. We get a couple of hits, strand a pair. Look at the third. No score. Tribune writers, sports stars, and celebrities join host David Kaplan to discuss the day's hottest sports topics and set the table for the night ahead. Chicago Tribune Live, presented by Captain Morgan. Weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. First pitch up high to Johnny Peralta.
You can go up high and throw it by Peralta, but you have to be ahead of him when you do it. Jake's had pretty good stuff through the first 2 innings, hitting his spots, changing speeds, which is the important thing against this Tiger ball club.
Fouls that back. And reminder, join the White Sox at U.S. Cellular Field Saturday, April 14th against these Tigers. That's tomorrow at 3:10. First 20,000 fans will receive a White Sox knit bomber hat. A White Sox knit bomber hat. Purchase your tickets today, whitesox.com.
Good slider in the dirt, probably does away with Peralta here after showing him the high heat.
Full count. He gone. 5 strikeouts now for the Jake Meister. Got to bring up Andy Dirks. Now you might say, who is this guy, Andy Dirks? Well, we saw him a few times last year, and I'll tell you, against us, he was a tough out.
That's what he's done so far, and he's been a tough out this year.
I don't think we saw him have a bad at-bat against us last season.
The Tigers have a talented lineup. They've got a talented bench. The one question mark would be the starting rotation and just how they're going to fare in that rotation.
Pops him up right side. Well, the Tigers certainly have one of the best lineups around, but their lineup to me is not as good as Texas. Now, on the other side of that page, when they get Victor Martinez back, they will move ahead of Texas.
Well, they'll be really deep in the middle.
Yeah,
and it's going to change around.
Change the whole dynamics.
Yeah, it's Victor last year hit close to 400 with runners in scoring position. So when you talk about a guy that got the big hits for the ball club, he was the guy that got the big hits for them.
Brian Rayburn also wants to shout a big White Sox shout out to Ben Varco. Currently at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. He's excited for opening day and the season. And best wishes from all of us here in the White Sox family. 1-1 to count.
Rayburn does not look like he wants to lay down a bunt, but he is fully capable of either dragging it or pushing it.
One and 2 the count.
Jake is working very quickly. Shows he has a lot of confidence in his stuff today.
Well, you being a pitcher, you certainly know it. It's hard to have confidence in your stuff when you're hurt.
And Jake has been hurt for the better part of the last 2.5 seasons.
Pops that one up. Paulie fighting that wind. Now calls for it, has it. Boy, he's good on those tough pop-ups. Fighting the wind, and that'll retire the side. That is 9 up, 9 down for Jake Peavy.
Later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Gordon Beckham will lead us off here in the bottom of the third. Gordon hitting at 176, but he has swung the bat much better than that. Not that he's hit the ball that hard, but mechanically speaking, he's swung the bat a lot better.
He did a nice interview yesterday, and I was listening to him, and he was talking about his viewpoint coming into this year. and what he endured last year. And you talked about it in spring training a lot when you talked about him going back to trying to have fun and let the rest of the game take care of itself.
Well, what happens is, you know, it happens in young pitchers, and certainly it happens in young hitters. When you're struggling, you try to go out and take the game rather than letting the game come to you. When you let the game come to you, and that comes with experience, when you let the game come to you when you're struggling, you're probably going to be struggling a lot less. But when you go out and you try to make it every day and you try to take charge of that game every day, you just dig a bigger hole. That's out of play.
Had a great manager once tell the team in the team meeting, look, everybody wants to hit 300, everybody wants to win 20 games. Well, you're not going to do it. So if you're going to hit 250, be the best 250 hitter you can be. If you're going to win 12 games, then be the best pitcher you can be on that given day. He said that's what makes a winning team instead of a losing team.
That's 6. Check that. 5 strikeouts now for Scherzer. And as Steve has mentioned several times already, he has made a lot of mistakes.
And he's getting away with sliders, a lot of them inside to right-hand hitters that I think the second time through the order he won't.
Here's the Ozzy. He struck out his first trip. I think the greatest opening spring training day meeting from a manager that I ever heard certainly was from Dick Williams in the spring of 1968. We had all these young players sitting in there, everybody, and Dick Williams was a tough guy. As that ball here in the left field. And that is out number 2. But he lets everybody in. The clubhouse was very hot that particular day, and let everybody sit around and sweat for about 5 or 10 minutes. Then he comes walking out of his office. And he says, fellas, I'm Dick Williams. I'm the manager of the Boston Red Sox, and I got to tell you that I don't give a you-know-what about you guys. All you are to me is tools. And when those tools work, I use them. When those tools don't work, I throw them away and get us a new one. And those rookies, right? Yes, and I looked at those rookie eyeballs look like golf balls.
Well, it's one thing to make the team, and everybody is trying to do that all spring. It's another thing when you're a youngster to stay there. But once you've made it, once you've gotten the meal money and you've seen the travel and the hotels and everything else, you want to stay there. You don't want to go back to AAA and have to fight your way back again.
Brent fouled out to Avila. And Scherzer with the 1-2.
Adam Dunn waiting to see if Brent can keep it alive.
6 strikeouts for Scherzer, and we're into the 4th, scoreless.
Now it's time for the AT&T trivia question, and it is very applicable today. Since 1950, which 3 White Sox managers won at least 90 games in their first season at the helm? You think about that. We'll get back to you later in the game.
First pitch to the leadoff hitter. Austin Jackson, the center fielder, is fouled away. Top of the 4th. Peavy has retired the first 9 he has seen. Pretty good pitch right there. Didn't get it. That's into right field. Rios. And here's Brennan Bosch. He also struck out. Bosch now 1 for 5 lifetime off the Jake Meister.
Still have to be careful on that first pitch, as Bosch normally with a nose-to-toe strike zone.
And he loves to swing that bat.
There's no doubt.
He's not as much as Eric Hosmer, but
no. And he's going to be a good one, but he's not going to be as good as Eric Hosmer.
Hosmer's got the biggest hitting zone in the American League. Tip of his nose to the tip of his toes. The 1-1. And there's the first Tiger base hit. So that'll bring up Cabrera.
And now it's time for the Illinois Lottery Anything's Possible replay. And it's Cabrera looking at the batter's box and realizing it's a little short for him. And after a meeting, sod father, Roger Bossert, called out. They redrew the lines, and we moved on with things. Both pitchers still dominating.
Yep. As we mentioned at the time, Steve and I have almost 100 years in this game. And that's the first time we've ever seen that.
See, a lot of guys complain about it, but they don't redraw much.
Ate him up. That's the way you got to get Cabrera. Paulie fighting that wind. Stays with it, makes a catch.
And that's a huge out. Now you still got to get by the big man, who probably hit the ball the hardest of the day. That ball moving inside. And Paulie with a battle on his hands. But he makes the catch.
Yeah, when you see him moving around like that, you know that wind is swirling. So here is Prince. He just absolutely scalded one. A one-hopper down to Konerko, who knocked it up in the air, couldn't find it, then all of a sudden found it, got it to Peavy just in time. We mentioned this stat in spring training. Cecil Fielder, Prince's dad, after 1,000 games in his career, had 232 home runs. After 1,000 games in Prince Fielder's career, he had 232 home runs.
It's pretty amazing. However, the size of the old man's wallet didn't come close to equaling the size of the young man's wallet.
The whole team of Cecil didn't come close to big hack.
That was a perfect spot for the slider.
In fact, the minimum salary today of $480,000 is bigger than the payroll, total payroll, of the first couple of years I was in the major leagues with Kansas City.
Pretty amazing.
2 out. And the 1-2 pitch. Just a little too high for him to bite at.
Nice pitch again for Jake. He wants to go back in and down with that hard slider. Fielder caught a great break when Pujols decided to sign with the Angels because there was a school of thought that that's where Fielder was going to wind up. And then Victor Martinez went down, and the rest is history. Take a look at our Menard's pitch tracks as that ball just a touch low.
Well, AJ pulled it up, so it'll tell you it was low. Now Paulie playing behind Bosch, and the payoff pitch. Look at the snap. Fielder just looking at Peavy. Flips his helmet away. Dadgummit, he says, and that'll retire the side.
And it's Jake Peavy as Fielder for the second time hits a rocket. But Jake, fortunately for him, it's on the glove side. He one-hops it, flips it over to first. And despite crutching the ball twice, the big man at first is 0 for 2.
Watch Fielder in that play. As we get set to go to the bottom of the 4th. Show you that in a second. Adam Dunn, Paul Konerko, AJ Pierzynski. Adam struck out on the 3-2 pitch. Takes it up and takes ball 1. Pull the string on him. And watch Fielder here.
Hey, Prince, there's been a man there for a long time. Sometimes they don't field it well, but there's a man there.
And there's a strike, sinker. 1-2. That might be the best pitch he gets to hit. Scherzer's given up 2 hits, both those in the second inning, a 2-out double by Rios, an infield single by Alexei, and he has 6 strikeouts.
And he's used his changeup very well today to compensate for a slider that has been less than 100%.
One of the games he beat us last year, he beat us twice. We beat him twice. But in one of those games, he featured that changeup, and we had no chance.
Well, on a full count, that's how he got done the first inning.
So Adam is gone. And that'll bring it Pauly. Pauly struck out on a sweeping slider. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Tigers. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for our Sox. Here in the bottom of the 4th, if you're just joining us, standing room only. And I mean, there are a lot of standees out on that concourse. A lot of them all the way around to left. There's a slider strike, even the count at 1. And just absolutely dots the outside corner. Well, that's what it's all about. Throwing strikes and changing speeds.
Pretty impressive numbers so far for both pitchers.
And that's a foul ball. Got in on him. Sounded like he may have cracked it. Pauly checking it out.
The best slider that Scherzer's thrown today was the one that he struck out Pauly on in the 2nd. If he hangs another one inside, it's going to be 1-0.
Now to play and the mezzanine.
Scherzer went to the fastball, which usually is 94, 95 miles an hour.
Two and two. AJ on deck. Pull the string on him.
Scherzer is changing speeds well. That's that new sinker that he's added. And you take a look at the comparison in numbers. Nary a walk between the two of them, and only 3 hits combined.
7 miles an hour difference in that sinker right there than his fastball. First pitch strike to AJ.
Scherzer came over along with Daniel Schlereth from Arizona. In exchange for Edwin Jackson, who's no longer there, and Ian Kennedy, who is there. Not only there, but the ace of their staff for the Diamondbacks.
That's low 1 and 2. Well, against Scherzer, besides covering in and out, you have to cover up and down.
Do today. Normally his control isn't as good as it has been here this afternoon.
Well, he's made a lot of mistakes and got away with them in the first couple 3 innings. 2 and 2. Out in front. Had him way out in front on that one. And that'll retire the side. 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the 5th. No score.
Since 1950, which 3 Sox managers won at least 90 games in their first season at the helm? And the answer, Bob Lemon, Al Lopez, and Marty Marion. I pitched for Bob Lemon and the Southside Hitmen in 1977. A very exciting Sox season.
Top of the 5th inning. No score. Delman Young, Alex Avila, Johnny Peralta to face Jake Peavy. Young struck out his first trip, and that hit him. So the leadoff man aboard.
Last thing you want to do is hit the leadoff man. Jake was trying to run the fastball in on his hands, which is where you want to throw him. But he got a piece of it.
Here's Avila. He was also a strikeout victim. There he goes. He gone. No contest.
Jake gets rid of the ball quickly, and AJ gets it down there in plenty of time. And you see where Alexi is taking the throw. Right on the bag.
He hadn't done that for 3 years.
Nope. But he's doing it now. And AJ got him by plenty.
One and one to count to Avila. Chops that one foul. Join the White Sox mobile group today by texting Ultimate to 244-769. Mobile users get exclusive offers, deals, and contest info. Joining enters you in the drawing for our Ultimate Fan Package. A winner and lucky winner will receive 2 VIP game tickets, an autographed item, and Comiskey cash. Text Ultimate to 244-769. Close. Didn't get it in the count. 2-2. He gone. Gas.
Strikeout number 6. Second time in a row Avila's gone down on strikes. He goes with the high heat. Gets a little piece of it, sticks in AJ's glove, and quickly there are 2 outs.
Peralta, also a strikeout victim. That's fouled into the seats.
Ben Morrell comes in and talks with Jake. Is he going to throw an off-speed pitch because he'll move closer to the line if he is? Hard slider away. Peralta's not likely to pull it down the line.
1-2 the count.
Jake's done it so far on a minimum of pitches. Ready to deliver number 62. Trying to get out of this 5th inning.
Outfield, they're fairly deep, especially Diaz in center. Gap out there in left center. Broke it down on the breaking ball. So the first of this 3-game set with the Tigers, first of this 7-game homestand. Tomorrow afternoon is 3:10. Gavin Floyd against Adam Wilk in that game right here on Comcast Sportsnet if you can make it. And on Sunday, Chris Sale against Rick Porcello. That game will be over WGN. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the Baltimore Orioles come to town. So make your plans to be with us here at our beautiful ballpark. He gone. 7 strikeouts for the Jake Meister. We're halfway home with no score. And go Hawks. Good comeback, but a tough loss last night.
I was watching the game late after the Bulls game, and they had their chances, but didn't work out.
Alex, a little slow free hopper. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs on 1 hit for their guys. No runs on 2 hits for our guys. And we get ourselves some fine pitching out there.
And both of these guys are throwing strikes. Neither of them have walked anybody to this point. Jake has hit 1 batter, but he's quickly erased by AJ. So the pitchers are dominating. These are 2 pretty good lineups. And so far, nothing to choose from between these 2 pitchers.
So Rios now 1 for 2 with that double, coming with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. And here's Alexei, who had an infield single, had him off balance. One hands that one out into left field, nonchalanted by Delman Young for out number 2. So here's Viciedo. Thanks. Struck out to end the 2nd. In that sequence, he had 1 good pitch to hit and fouled it back. That ball hit high and deep in the left center field stretch. Jackson goes back, looks up. You can put it on the ball. Yes. Yes. First homer of the season for the Tank. And the Sox lead it 1-0. Mercy.
Well, we've been telling you that if Scherzer continues to hang that breaking ball to the right-hand hitters, second time through the order, somebody make him pay. And that time, Viciedo did just that. Our 4th home run replay. This one hanging over the middle of the plate, and Viciedo, even with the wind blowing in, hit the daylights out of that.
There it is, Jake. Hold him right there, buddy.
Stuff he's got today, he just might be able to do it.
Oh, and 1 to count to Beckham. And of course, with that home run by the Tank, Alex Nelius will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 7. So already $700 donated by Alex Nelius in loving memory of Ursula.
You can only get away so often with a hanging slider inside, and as you can see, that one just drifted right over the middle of the plate. Not a whole lot on it, and it turned into a 1-0 lead. First home run this year given up by Scherzer.
Jim Angio and the Cruz picked the click. A strong man. Lucio Fuerte.
He's a wide man.
That's why they call him the Tank. As Gordon goes down, but the homer by Viciedo will go to the 6th leading 1-0.
That's our Xfinity high-speed action replay showing you some of the scenes from opening day 2012.
Andy Dirks popped up to Beckham his first trip. Takes ball 1. Our guys on top 1-0.
And Morrell knows that Dirks will bunt, so he's in on the grass at third.
Hit him up inside. 1 out.
Jake's been able to move that ball around exceptionally well. Looks like he and AJ are working together very well. And Jake, who likes to work quickly, AJ keeping him in that rhythm that started in the first inning when he just went 1-2-3 with Jackson, Bosch, and Cabrera. He's been in that rhythm the whole game.
Here's Rayburn. He fouled out to Paulie. Takes a slider strike. Bottom of the 4th in Boston. 3-1 Red Sox over Tampa Bay. David Price on the bump for the Rays. Foul ball, and AJ saying no. Come on, AJ, don't get thrown out, buddy.
Well, Adrian Johnson said that it might have bounced up and hit him, and I think what Jake and AJ want is a guy with a better view, because Johnson was behind him. He wants Cedarstrom to come on in. He's a crew chief, and
Cedarstrom telling Jake to get back out on the mound.
Situation with 3 umpires looking right in, nobody on base, 3 umpires looking right into the hitter. The guy with the worst view, and it did hit him. That's what Adrian Johnson saw. It hit him on the back as it came up.
Adrian Johnson has been, when he's been umpiring our games, has been terrific. He has been a very good umpire. He and Alan Porter, 2 relatively new umpires.
Well, that part of it is fine, but unfortunately it hit off the top of his shoulder while he was in the batter's box.
Adrian has not been wrong too many times.
No, Adrian, you got that one right.
And all Robin did, Robin wasn't cussing at him. He was just asking, please ask, get some help. Please ask Cedarstrom.
Well, as it did turn out, Johnson did have the best look at it because the ball hit the back of the hitter, and none of the umpires could see that except for Adrian Johnson. Watch as it comes down right off his back.
So into the count to Rayburn. That's in the dirt. Rayburn 1 for 3 lifetime off Jake, but that one hit was a grand slam homer. Two and two. Fouls that back, and fans want to be there in person next time your Sox take the field. Just head to StubHub, where it's easy to find great Sox seats. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of our White Sox. High and deep into left field. Tank fighting that wind. Stays with it. He got a mistake right there from Jake Meister and almost took it out of here.
Well, it's a good thing the wind is blowing in. Now, it does swirl here at U.S. Cellular, but this is the same type of hanging slider that we saw from Scherzer that went out of the ballpark, but that one got up too high. The wind affected it. And, of course, Viciedo a little stronger than Rayburn.
And here's Austin Jackson. A strikeout and a fly out to right.
Jackson is not using the leg kick anymore because he wants to cut down on the strikeouts. But if he keeps swinging at those, leg kick or no leg kick, he's going to strike out a lot.
I know how he feels. I've been there and done that.
You've seen those a few times?
You know you've seen a lot when you start dreaming about them. Recurring dream. He gone. Strikeout number 8 for Jake. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. He leads it 1-0. Cadillac. The White Sox and the Bulls chairman reveals his greatest stroke of luck and relives everything from the 2005 World Series championship to drafting Derrick Rose. Only on Inside Look, Jerry Reinsdorf today at 4:30 on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. One nothing good guys here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-3-0 for us. 1-0 for them. Top of the order, Piazza, Morel, and Dunn to face Max Scherzer. There's the bunt. Foul. Cabrera comes in on the grass at third. Fence fielder even with the bag and off the line at first. Outfield for the most part straight up.
Alejandro just looks away. He's going to be able to poke that ball into left or left center field. You'd love your speed aboard. Maybe give a chance for Morel to use a hit and run to shake him out of this early season malaise.
Well, if you missed that game on Wednesday, he hit a home run dead away center field in Cleveland against the wind. So he's got some pop. Takes the strike. Change up and to count 2-2. And John Walsh, our producer, says if you didn't see that home run, poof, here it is.
Well, Deonze has a pair of them, but this one a little more impressive because the ball wasn't traveling in Cleveland. It was cool. The wind was blowing in, and he hit it out by a long shot.
I didn't know he had that kind. I know he had some, but not that kind of juice.
No walks in the game. No time like the present for the first, as the 86th pitch by Scherzer is coming up.
Good leadoff walk.
There you go. Good way to start it.
First walk issued by Max. $38,676. Standing room only.
You have to watch first pitch out. Leland likes to do that in situations which call for a hit and run.
This will be a bunt, I believe. Let's see what he wants to do. Cabrera.
Well, Cabrera certainly thinks it's going to be a bunt because he's standing right in on his doorstep.
They tell me that Cabrera has really been playing a good, solid third base.
But he's lost 20 pounds, so
he looks great.
Yeah, he knew that he had to have a little more mobility.
There's a bunt. That's a good one. So the sacrifice, 5-3.
Well executed bunt, put it in a perfect spot. The only man who could field it was Cabrera, and the only thing he could do was get it to first. So it helps when that ball is inside, and it helps when it's a fastball.
So Brent. A good sacrifice bunt. And here's Adam. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Scherzer been changing speeds on the big man. And that is out of play left side.
Good pitch to hit. A little more inside than Adam probably would have liked it. But a first ball fastball in the zone.
And that one at 94 runs outside. Count evens at 1. First of a 7-game homestand. 2 more with the Tigers tomorrow at 3:10 and Sunday afternoon in Baltimore. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. As the count moves to 2-1. Konerko on deck. And the count 3-1. Zone him in, reel him in, and light him up.
Well, this is the first inning that Scherzer has shown any signs of a bit of fatigue. And with that in mind, the bullpen up and going for the Tigers. High enough. BMO Harris Bank replay. on the pitch track.
And a full count. Fouls that one back at 95. One final in the American League. Yankees shut out the Angels 5-0. Kuroda over Santana. Yankees now 4-3. Angels now 2-5.
Schlereth and Dotel. The venerable Octavio Dotel.
Ten strikeouts now for Scherzer, and here's Konerko. Pauly 0 for 2 with a couple of those 10.
So the question with first base open and the best hitter on the ball club, even though he's fanned twice, if you're Avila behind the plate or Jeff Jones, who you're looking at who's a pitching coach, do you risk pitching to Pauly?
Yeah, you got AJ on deck. And AJ has had a lot more success against Scherzer than Pauly.
Yes, he is.
And here they come. And there is a base hit. Yes, it is. What new? It's 2-0. Sox.
Another hanging slider this time by Scherzer. Only Pauly took it to right center field. For me, I know AJ's been a better hitter against him. Can't pitch to the man who's paid to beat you, and Pauly is just that.
I was talking with Mully and Hamlin this morning, and there's only 5 hitters with 1,000 or more at bats in the big leagues that have a better OPS percentage than Konerko.
Yeah, I mean, that's, to me, I don't care. You can strike him out 10 times in a row. If the game's on the line the 11th time, he would be one of the last guys I'd want to face.
In the league. He's one of the best 7th, 8th, and 9th inning hitters in baseball.
And that's a huge run. RBI number 6 for Pauly.
AJ lines that one fair down into the corner. So now Pauly is going to be waved around. Here he comes. Here's the throw. Safe. 3-0 on the double by Pierzynski. Yes. Yes.
Well, no sooner does Pauly tie for the team lead and runs batted in than AJ comes up and retakes the lead. The break here was that it got hung up in the padding. Bosch had to go get it. A good relay by Rayburn, but Pauly beats the play. Once again, Adrian Johnson with a very good call at the plate. Pauly's foot got in just ahead of the tag. And AJ ecstatic. He drives home Pauly from first base. Joe McEwing once again showing that he's a very aggressive third base coach.
And they give AJ a triple. So a 3-0 Sox lead. Jeff Jones out to talk to Scherzer. Well, we saw McEwing in spring training, and we have seen him through now the first 6 games of the season, and there's no reason to think any different.
No, he's going to put the pressure on the defense every chance he gets. He's going to make them execute. Now, this is a terrific relay throw, but said Pauly got in ahead of the tag. That angle, I'm not too sure.
First pitch strike to Alex, who has doubled and grounded to short. Pick him up. Flips that one foul, and that's going to be in the seats.
The leadoff walk.
And a beautiful bunt by Morrell. And a poked into right field single by Konerko and a triple by Pierzynski. Got him. But some damage is done. We'll go to the 7th, leading 3-0.
He's done it with a good high fastball, pinpoint control, sliders and off-speed pitches when he's needed them. He sawed through a very difficult Tiger lineup, and he's got a 3-run lead.
It'll be Bosch, Cabrera, and Fielder here in the top of the 7th inning. Bosch has struck out and singled sharply into right field. That has been the Tigers' only hit thus far. Breaking ball strike. That is foul. And a reminder, come to U.S. Cellular Field Sunday, May 13th to celebrate Mother's Day. First 10,000 ladies age 14 or older will receive a White Sox tote bag. Purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. Pops him up left side. Morrell. Boy, ever since Brent dropped that pop-up last year, it's one-handed. He's been using two.
And very assuredly two. So the bullpen up and going. It's Oman and Reed. Because going through the heart of this order, you could have some difficulties. But right now, Jake hasn't seen any difficulties.
Here's Cabrera. He has gone out to right, and he is fouled out. Konerko takes ball 1. 344 last year with 30 homers and 105 RBIs. Two and 0. Jake wanted that last pitch. Gets that one. Got in on him. As we talk about so often, the better the hitter, the better the hitting team, the more you got to pitch inside.
Well, Jake's been doing a whole lot of that today, and he's gotten inside effectively on Cabrera. The guy's had trouble with his fielder, although he's 0 for 2 to show for it.
2 rockets. Breaking ball tries to get into bite. He won't, and the count goes full. So the first walk issued by Jake.
You're going to be hard pressed to find too many better 3 and 4 hitters than these two guys.
Well, you will not find any more dangerous 3 and 4 hitters than these two guys.
No, since 2006. Take a look at where they rank and how they got there.
Fielder, as we mentioned, 0 for 2 with 2 bullets. 1 to first and 1 back to Peavy.
Well, not that much of an exaggerated shift with Cabrera on. Be nice to see a nice double play ground ball.
One and 2 the count. I remember Prince when he was, well, you can't say a small guy. He's never been a small guy. When he was young, a young guy coming in with his dad. That's into right field. Alex, he's there, makes the catch, and that's out number 2. But Cecil would bring Prince into the ballpark with him, and he was a big young man.
Well, he hasn't changed much.
No.
Jake had him well out on the front foot that time, well out ahead of the pitch, and he popped it up. There's the pitches by inning. You can see how remarkably consistent Peavy has been to this point. And if Robin can get him through this 7th, he's pretty well assured his bullpen could maybe pick up 6 outs. But depends on how Jake feels.
Young has struck out, and then he was nipped by a pitch. One and 1 to count. Outfield, especially Diaza, is deep, straight up. And the count 1 and 2.
Pretty hefty numbers for a career for Delman Young. He started out as a #1 draft pick of the Tampa Bay Rays. That
ball is hit hard. Get foul. It won't. It is fair, and it is a 3-2 ball game. He rolled it up there, and Young hurt it.
One of the things we told you about early in the ball game was that Young is one of the few good breaking ball hitters in the strike zone. And that time, Jake did not get away with a mistake. The first home run of the year by Young. And he's now driven in 3, but more importantly, it's a 1-run game as we look at the Ford home run replay. Young, as they say, drops the head on it. Unfortunately, it stayed fair and left fair.
What a performance by Jake Peavy. And he will get a standing O from the 38,676. Just a beautiful, beautiful performance from our 30-year-old right-hander. He departs. And we'll be back.
And it is Will Oman who takes over with a 1-run lead. 1 out to get out of this 7th inning. There are the numbers so far. He's going to face the talented catcher, Alex Avila.
Alex is 0 for 2 today, a couple of strikeouts. So Peavy goes 6 2/3, 2 runs, just 2 hits, 1 walk. That was the walk to Cabrera, who scored ahead of Delman Young's first homer of the season. Jake also had 8 strikeouts. First ball, hunting, base hit.
And that looks like that's going to be it for Will Oman. He was brought in to get the lefty. Robin is not going to take a chance, I don't believe, with Johnny Peralta.
No, he wants the right-hander, Addison Reed. So Oman will depart. The youngster, Addison Reed, hard-throwing right-hander, will come on there. We'll be back. It takes the mound against Miguel Cabrera and these Tigers. Coverage begins at 2:30 with White Sox pregame live. White Sox Tigers tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. Only on your home for White Sox baseball, Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Now it's time for the Honda call to the pen once again, and it is Addison Reed. The youngster who made the ball club out of spring training, throwing the ball very well so far. This is his 4th outing. Hasn't given up anything through the first 3, and he'll inherit the tying run on the bases in the person of Avila. And he's facing Johnny Peralta.
Peralta 0 for 2 against Jake Peavy with a couple of strikeouts. So our 23-year-old right-hander out of Etiwanda, California, and San Diego State. 3-5-0 for our guys, 2-3-0 for their guys. Tigers, certainly what you can term as a quick strike ball club. They don't have to get many to get a lot.
No, you don't really feel too comfortable regardless of what the lead is against this team.
Big pitch, the 1-1. Come on, Addison. Don't get around it. Stay on top of it.
Matt Thornton standing there with the left-hander in the on-deck circle.
Two out and the 2-1 pitch. That's just over the head, a broken bat. So Avila will go to third on the double by Peralta. The broken bat double.
High fastball. He did get in on him, but unfortunately Brent Morrell can't get to it. Viciedo has to hustle up because Avila is hustling all the way. Dean Lamont stops him at third base. So there's a tying and go ahead run on for Andy Dirks.
Ryan Rayburn on deck. Dirks has popped to second and grounded to short.
Here's our AT&T UVerse multi-view.
A ball and a strike for the 26-year-old designated hitter, outfielder, Andy Dirks. One and two the count. Here they come. And that is hit line drive, caught by Viciedo. Yes, yes. A beautiful catch. Maybe a game saver by the tag Diane Viciedo.
Viciedo got a great jump on this one, read it all the way, and the sinking line drive winds up in the glove. He cradles it, snags it, and out of the inning we go. Yankees got a 1-run deficit. Max Scherzer went 6. Sox looking for more against Octavio, who is on for his 3rd appearance of the year.
And his 13th appearance this season with a new club or different club. That is a major league record. He also is closing in on his 700th appearance. This is his 698th. That's going away to Alexei. Count 1-1. And you know, of all the thousands and thousands and thousands of pitchers that have pitched in the big leagues, only 93 have appeared in 700 or more games.
That's somewhat surprising. Especially with the way they use relievers in this day and age.
That's what I mean. But you got to remember, in my time zone, they didn't use relievers very often.
That's true. Guys would routinely have 20 to 30 complete games a year. Those days are long gone.
Checks it up, fouls it back. Count hangs at 1-2 with Tanks on deck. Got a hanger, couldn't do anything with it.
Dotel's problems usually come with the left-hand hitters, but he is scheduled to face the 3 righties before moving to the top to Diaz.
Start us off right here, Alexei. 3-5-0 for us, 2-4-0 for them if you're just tuning in. Graber, and out number 1.
Just as we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Not only did he start us off the scoring with a home run, but he kept the game at 3-2 with a spectacular rolling catch in left field. It's Diane Viciedo. Our Miller moment.
What a catch. Tank with his first home run of the season. Takes that pitch down low. $38,676. Standing room only, and a whole bunch of standing room fans to watch the opener here in 2012. Goes through that one. Well, you're talking about complete games. Warren Spahn had 382 complete games.
I mean, it's just beyond the realm of conception the way the game is played these days.
Good eye right there. 3-1.
Can use at least one insurance run against his very potent Tiger lineup, because no lead is safe.
Got that one in a good spot, up and in. So a full count.
Gordon waiting for his chance.
Gas upstairs. So the 12th strikeout by Tiger pitching, and here's Beckham 0 for 2 with a couple of those 12. Checks it up and takes strike one. One to count. Sox with a run in the 5th. That was a home run by Viciedo. Added 2 in the 6th, and then the Tigers with 2 in the top of the 7th. A 2-run homer by Delman Young, and of course, hopefully, what turns out to be a game-saving catch by Tanks.
6 dangerous outs to go, however.
One of them, one of the best 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters in baseball. Miguel Cabrera. Two out, 2-2 the count. This full with Alejandro Diaz on deck. Ball for a base hit. So Dotel strikes out a couple, 1-2 inning. We'll go to the 8th, leading 3-2.
So far, as you would expect between these two teams, only 1 run difference. Now it's up to a young bullpen to close it down.
Breaking ball right there to Rayburn, who was fouled out to Pauly and gone out to left. Outfield spread out, they're deep. High into center field. A big out.
Brent Lillibridge comes into game in left field.
Here's their leadoff hitter, center fielder Austin Jackson, 0 for 3 today. 25-year-old, last year at 249, 10 homers, and knocked in 45, but finished up the season very strong. Make no mistake about it, he can go get them with the best of them in center.
And this is a man one way or the other. In a one-run game, you have got to keep off base.
22 steals last year. Two and 0 the count.
He's 1 for 1 this year on a team that's not going to run a great deal. But this is the guy that's going to do most of it.
There's a strike.
Left-hander Phil Koch loosening in the pen.
Oh, be fine. You got to throw strikes, make this guy hit his way on.
Matt Thornton in the pen. No doubt for Brennan Bosch if he doesn't get Jackson.
Walked the wrong guy. And here comes Robin. And as he makes his way out to the mound, reminder, if you've seen the White Sox Dynamic Ticket Deal of the Week, enjoy a variety of price options for specific games and seating locations. The best tickets in the best locations directly from the White Sox. Buy early and save. Visit whitesox.com. Class, price.
Matt Thornton comes trotting into the ball game. He'll be charged with holding that one-run lead with Jackson at first, only one out here in the 8th, and we'll be back after these messages. Matt comes in a bit of a jam, on for the 5th time, a 1-0 record, no earned run average, does have a hold, no walks, 2 Ks, and he's going to face Brennan Bosch, a notorious first ball fastball hitter.
Bosch 1 for 3, picked up the Tiger first hit with a line drive into right field back in the 4th inning. Jackson with a good lead. And he takes ball 1. Cabrera on deck. Broken bat, base hit. That walk's going to go now to third base. So runners at the corners, 1 out on a broken bat single. And that'll bring up one of the best RBI men in baseball.
Bosch gets that fastball. Second Tiger to break a bat and get a base hit. Runners at the corners, 1 out. And the only break you get, you don't get many with Cabrera, is he does ground into a lot of double plays. He's grounded into one of them this year.
So here we go. You know, in the fist, in the seats. Three 5-0 for our guys, 2 5-0 for their guys, but 1 out, runners at the corners. Back up the middle. Can they turn it? Yes! Alexei, what a play! What a play by Ramirez! Mercy!
Second double play of the year, grounded into by Cabrera, and this of the spectacular variety. A couple of defensive gems have kept us in a 1-run lead. The flip with the glove, they get Cabrera by plenty at first. It stays a 1-run lead, and on to the bottom of the 8th.
First 10,000 children ages 13 and under receive a White Sox bat courtesy of Comcast Sportsnet. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
We've got a new pitcher coming into the game, and it's Daniel Schlereth. But before that, let's take a look at the double play that ended the inning. Right back up the middle. Alexei gets to it. Flip right to Beckham, who's got plenty of time to get it across. All he has to do is make sure he avoids the sliding Bosch. What a play by Ramirez.
That is absolutely awesome.
Well, so much can go wrong when you're flipping it out of your glove. You can hold it too long. You can flip it into the ground. But Gordon was right there waiting for it as Alexei made just an outstanding effort. And there's a look at Daniel Schlereth.
At least 7 or 8 out of 10 times you're going to hold it a little too long and catch it in that webbing. So here's Diaza. Alejandro is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Takes ball 1.
Not a bad idea as a drag bunt because you've got fielder back at first base. Got a pitcher who falls off the mound to the third base side. And Alejandro can do that.
He practiced it a lot in spring training.
Exactly what he was looking for, as Cabrera was charging, but Fielder was not.
Two great defensive plays if you're just tuning in. One by Viciato and the other by Ramirez. Wow.
Santiago getting loosened up, ready to go to try to nail down the save.
Attaboy. 3-1 to count. Flips that one into left field. Young fighting that wind, gets turned around and can't make the play. Diaz on his way to third base, and he will get there. The triple by Alejandro Diaz starts us off right here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
It wasn't so much that he misjudged the play, or it looked like the circus came to town as he was turning circles, but then he kind of loafed after it after he missed it. So it goes to triple. Now watch, he misses the ball, gets turned around, no chance to catch it. And then kind of taking his time, but Alejandro wasn't. He was off to the races when he saw that that ball was going to fall. Just thinking 3 all the way and a big insurance run at third base.
Let's see what Robin wants to do here. Here's Brent. He's 0 for 2 with a beautiful sacrifice bunt. Takes ball 1, the breaking ball. Outfield. They're playing shallow. Infield in. And there's the breaking ball for the strike. 1-1 to count.
Well, your defender at first led the National League in errors last year in Fielder, and your defender at third in Cabrera is a converted first baseman.
But a converted good first baseman.
No doubt about that.
Now you got to cinch it up, hunker down. 1-2 the count. Good check. Right here, Brent. Come on, buddy. We need you. That's in the hole, base hit. Diaz scores, and our Sox lead it 4-2. Yes.
Through the drawn-in infield, the second run batted in for Brent Morel. And a play that wasn't made in left field comes back to haunt the Tigers. So a little insurance now. And a chance to look for some more.
Don't stop now, boys. Here's Adam 0 for 3 today. Adam. 3 strikeouts. Takes a breaking ball strike. You're looking to the Tiger ninth fielder, Young, Avila. To face Hector Santiago. Standing room only here at the old ballpark. He did not go. Here's Brent going into second. He gets there.
I think it's going to go. I think it might be a stolen base. It looked like he took off, unless he took off as soon as that ball hit the dirt. We'll take a look again. No, it's going to be a wild pitch, most likely.
Yep.
Vila did a nice job of pouncing on it and getting it down there and making it even somewhat close.
A good job by Brent. They got a modified shift on.
Let's take a look at the Burger King box score. So far, it's been a happy box score. See everybody with a hit. AJ with an RBI triple. Paulie with a big RBI base hit.
Checks that up and a miss. So the count 2-1.
Of course, it was Diane Viciedo that led things off with a rocket of a home run before making what could turn out to be a game-saving catch in left field.
A beautiful play by Tanks. Count evens at 2.
Look at you, just a little contact here. Little ground ball to the right side.
And that's slow. So a full count, Konerko on deck.
Tiger bullpen up and going. One way or the other, I don't think Schlereth faces Konerko.
Just got a piece of it. So the count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes to big Adam Dunn. If you're just joining us, Sox 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 1 so far here in the 8th. Tigers 2 runs coming, 2-run homer by Delman Young in the 7th. Jake Peavy was outstanding. Outstanding. Just got a piece of that one. Jake went 6 2/3, giving up the 2 runs on just 2 hits. 1 walk, had 8 strikeouts. And for the most part, he made the mistake on a rolling breaking ball to Young, but he just dominated this Tiger lineup.
Yeah, that was one of the few you'd seen. And if you're going to ask for a couple of starts, I know you got to face them all, but Texas and Detroit would not be the 2 teams you'd look for your first 2 starts. But
and
Jake
he just pitched well against both of them.
Yeah, he got him and did a good job.
Getting the over breaking ball and fouls it back. What a play by that man.
Well, a couple of defensive gems are the only reason why Sox have the lead.
Foul tipped, hung on to. So we'll put Konerko on to get to AJ. Crawley 1 for 3 with that big RBI, his 6th of the season, and he also scored. I tell you, outside of Paulie, I'd rather have AJ hitting against this left-hander than anybody
Well, I don't think that left-handers bother A.J. too much. In fact, nothing is bothering him because his 3-run homer in Cleveland came against Perez, who's a tough left-hander, Rafael Perez.
So here comes A.J. A.J. 1 for 3, a triple and an RBI, knocking in Konerko. Two on, one out. Breaking ball, drops it over. Morel at second. Konerko at first. Field straight up, spread out. Breaking ball hit down to fielder. Double clutches on the thing. The relay not in time.
And Jim Leland now is going to go to the bullpen, so the day is done for Daniel Schlereth. They try to complete the 3-6-1, but A.J. down there a little too quickly, and the inning stays alive.
All right, Leland out, Schlereth out, and we'll be back. iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit whitesox.com for details.
It's our Honda call to the pen, and it's Brian Villarreal. On for the third time. He inherits runners at first and third. Sox looking for that fifth run at the very least. With 3 outs to go, as we head in the top of the ninth, the first things first.
How about one in the dirt? Takes first pitch strike. Alex doubles in the second. He's 1 for 3.
96 on that first fastball from Villarreal.
Short lead by A.J. at first. And that one at 97.
Villarreal got up to Detroit last year. 16 games, 6.75 ERA. Didn't start any of them. Was a starter in AAA. Now he's found a home in the bullpen.
Still looking for that breaking ball in the dirt. That's low. They're not going to get it as every time Avila moves inside.
And then not going to be a breaking ball.
No, it's not going to be a breaking ball in the dirt. Now I got a chance. There it is. There it is. 5-2 Sox.
He moved outside, called a slider, and Villarreal threw it right by him. Huge run. See Avila edge to the outside part of the plate, and Villarreal throws it right by him.
Don't stop now, boys. Pick him up, Alex. Boy, Brent's had a good day. That beautiful sacrifice bunt back in the 6th and the big RBI single, and now scoring on that wild pitch. It's a different year, a different attitude. Checks it up and takes ball 3. Stops that one foul. Got him upstairs, but we pick up a pair. We'll go to the 9th, leading 5-2.
First of all, he starts off the scoring. This coming in the 5th inning. A line drive home run, and then the glove. With 2 men on, both would have scored. The Tigers would have taken the lead. They didn't. It's Dan Vicieda. As Hector Santiago comes in to try to nail it down with a 3-run lead, the first man he's going to be looking at is Prince.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's the strike. 21 to count the fielder, who is 0 for 3 today, but he has hit 2 rockets. One to Konerko and one back to Jake. And there's a start for the Tigers, a base hit. So that'll bring up Delman Young, who's 1 for 2, that 2-run homer in the 7th inning. Only 2 runs that Peavy gave up. Only the second hit that Jake gave up in his 6 2/3 innings of work.
One of the reasons why this Tiger team is so difficult for any bullpen to face is that Leland staggers his lineup with righty lefty down through the lineup.
Yeah, that has become more or less standard procedure when you get some balance. No walks. No walks. 2-0. There's a strike. You cannot let this team back in. You cannot walk or make errors when you're playing against a club like this.
No, too much thunder in this lineup to give them anything.
Fouls that back, so a full count. If they beat you with a home run, then they beat you with a home run, but you cannot help them out. And the payoff pitch, a big pitch. Yes, he gone. 1 out.
Came back from a 3-0 deficit. And threw one right there. I mean, that ball had the whole plate, was thigh high, and Delman just got outguessed. You can't give that look of incredulity because that was a perfect strike.
That's wheelhouse for him.
I'm not sure what he's looking for, but it was not a strike.
So here's Alex Avila. He's 1 for 3, a single. Takes that breaking ball low and away.
I think Paulie's now telling Santiago that he's going to play a step in back of fielder. His run for the moment doesn't mean too much.
That ball hit hard into center field. Deza, yes, on the track, 2 down.
Let's take a look at our Three Stooges upcoming schedule. It's going to be the Tigers for 2 more before Baltimore comes to town for 4, which ends the homestand. Then it's on to Seattle and Oakland. 1 out to go in this one.
So here's Peralta. Downey had a broken bat double. He's 1 for 3. Can't get that 94-mile-an-hour fastball tailing away. That one gets away. 1-1 the count. If you're just joining us, Jake Peavy went 6 2/3. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and just dominated that lineup. Now balk is called.
Young pitchers are going to have their problems, but Santiago trying to go 3 for 3. We'll take a look at it.
Well, I hope they had their problem with 2 out and a 3-run lead.
And you see, you see it right there where he turned, and that was it.
Throws that one by him. 1-2. He gone, and this ball game is over. Yes. Jake Peavy, Diane Viciado, Alexei Ramirez, and the bullpen. Matt Thornton throwing that big double play ball off the bat of Cabrera. Santiago coming in, picking up the save, and Stoney, what a way to open up our home season.
It was just a terrific game, well played all the way around. The defense was spectacular. It couldn't have happened without the performance of Peavy, and of course just enough offense to make it stand up. And so the Tigers come in. They come in with a 1.5 lead. It's down to a half a game, and they've lost 2. We've beaten them 1.
All right. We're going to try to have an interview down on the field shortly with our guy, Pat Boyle, and we'll see. But if you just tuned in, Sox pick up their 4th victory. Tigers take their 2nd loss. We're 4-2. They are 5-2. And what is just, I'll tell you, Jake just absolutely dominated that line.
I mean, from the start, when Jake went out there, it looked like he had his best stuff. He started out striking out Jackson and Bosch. He got Cabrera on a routine fly ball to right field, and then he just sawed through the lineup, gave him 1 hit through 6 innings, and then had some problems with that hanging breaking ball in the 7th. Outside of that, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better performance against a team that can put up runs in double digits. I mean, this is a tough Tiger team.
All right, Pat down on the field now with Paul Konerko at that big hit.
All right, Hawk, thank you very much. I'm with the captain, Paul Konerko. Now, that's the way to open up your 14th year here on the South Side. A complete team effort. A pitcher's duel to the middle innings. How did you guys finally get to Scherzer?
Well, just good work. I mean, he had his stuff today. Both guys did. There wasn't a whole bunch up there that was good to hit, but guys just kept grinding away. I think when Diane hit that home run, that kind of loosened up everybody a little bit and showed us that he was actually hittable. And we just grinded it out. It was a good win.
You don't have to do any cardio today. Did you think you were going to score from first when AJ ripped that ball?
Unfortunately, I never really think I'm going to score when I'm running, but you know, I guess the ball got caught down there in the corner, and I was running hard. I got a good jump off the bat, and you know, it was kind of close there at home. I wouldn't want to do that one over again with the umpire.
You mentioned Diane Viciado. He hits that home run, but how about the glove he had out in left field? You know, this is where the defense made this game stand up for you guys. A lot of questions whether he could handle it out in left. He certainly did today.
Yeah, he did, and he made another catch earlier in the game on a high fly ball. It's real windy out there today. It's nice to see him, and he's been working hard, and 2 huge plays. That one and the double play up the middle. I mean, that's the ball game right there. So good defense, good pitching, and some timely hits, and you know, nice win.
And Jake Peavy against this tough Tigers lineup. What'd you think of his performance?
2 outings in a row, he's held down maybe the 2 best lineups in baseball. So that's pretty good. You can't argue with that. Good start for Peavy.
Congrats, Paulie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is your captain, Paul Konerko. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Pat, thank you very mumuch. Sox win this one 5-2. So for my partner, Steve Stone, our director, Jim Angelo, our producer today, John Walsh, our associate producer, Kian Kawasaki, our technical manager, Mark Harper, for the executive producer, Jim Cornell Jr. This is the Hawk. So long, everybody. You have been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, now part of the NBC Sports Group. Yes!